they won't see you just yet. So you can hold your horses. All right, hello everybody, welcome to the stream today. My name is SenseiSuplex, and today we have none other than the D&D Sensei Show, as we are joined with a lovely guest in Vahid from Dice Legenz. We have an awesome stream for each and every single one of you, as we're going to be doing 3 actual main segments for today's wacky sort of shenanigans-filled show that you guys all love to enjoy. We have the likes of, you got it, a huge sort of Dungeons & Dragons sort of kind of podcast, more talk show sort of thing, where, again, we're going to be breaking down a lot of the recent sort of online D&D shows that have been recently emerging into the Twitch and YouTube sphere. But also on top of that, we're going to be bringing back the likes of the Workout Warriors in the Roas Get Fit Challenge. As you guys already know it, you guys already love it, some of you may dread it, but we're going to have to do it anyways, as we got to stay back, or got to get into shape as much as our D&D characters. So you guys can look forward to that later down the line in the stream. But past that, we also will be doing a grandiose giveaway with our good old friends at Mithril Armory. So, hey, if you guys want to have a chance to basically be able to win a little bit of D&D merchandise, or even a couple of dice yourselves, then make sure to tune on into the end of the stream, as we're going to be doing a giveaway across all sort of 3 platforms. Now, as a little bit of a quick announcement, most of you guys already know this, but for those who do not, we are also streaming on multiple platforms right now at the moment. So we're streaming on the likes of Twitch, we're streaming on the likes of YouTube, and we're streaming on the likes of Twitter. So hey, you can choose whichever experience that you want the most, whether you want to be on YouTube and be able to have this sort of higher video quality, or if you want to be on Twitch and have the more interactive and engaging community. The choice is yours, but all your comments, all your messages are going to be going through, so look forward to that. Hope you guys' day has been well, but enough about me for just 1 second. Let's switch on over. Whoa, calm down. Not yet.
We're so excited.
Not yet. Calm your horses, Mithril Armory. But we have Vahid. Hello, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, so good to be here, Sensei. Great to connect with you again. Really looking forward to our chat.
Heck yeah, awesome. Ah, boy. Well, I guess in general, Vahid, how's your day been so far? I know it probably just started because you're just waking up. It's like, what time is it over there, man?
Yeah. So we've just hit 6 a.m. over here.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
so the last time you and I chatted, the time zone difference was 6 hours. But
Yeah.
since then, you guys have gone into daylight savings and we've gone out of it. So now we've got an 8-hour difference. So we've just hit 6 a.m. over here. So it's the early bird gets the worm. So I guess I'm getting lots of worms.
Well, I'm so glad that you're able to be able to join on in, especially early in the morning. So I am sorry about that, but I do appreciate you for being able to
It's
do
good.
so.
It's
Man.
great to be here. No problem at all.
Yeah. So, hey, everybody, real quick, before we go into introductions and everything, we do have to thank a couple of our sponsors for this evening. So, just for a quick moment. So, after that, then we'll go into some introductions. All right, buddy? Sound good?
Sounds great.
Alrighty, so real quick, guys, I want to give a very special shout out to our sponsor for this stream in Mithril Armory. So for those of you guys who don't know, Mithril Armory has made their appearance on the likes of the Soulbound streams and just, I guess, D&D Sensei Show streams in general multiple times before, as these were the individuals who were nice enough to give us the likes of, or give us the ability to do a couple of dice giveaways in the past. We actually were able to do a couple of 1020 giveaways, as you guys may remember from a long while ago. But they were also nice enough to be able to have us do another giveaway again today. In fact, as we're going to be doing this sort of thing, or the giveaway towards the end of the stream, they are actually, or we're doing this in celebration for the likes of their Kickstarter, and a new giveaway for we're doing this in celebration for the likes of their Kickstarter for their new Dragon Heart dice. So that being said, I'm going to link all that stuff at the, or towards the end of the stream, if you guys want to be able to check all that stuff out. We're going to actually play a little bit of a small video ad so you guys can actually see how crazy these things look. But that said, we're going to play this little quick video ad, and I just want you to just take a quick little look. Take a quick little look at how ridiculously good these dice look for just 1 second. Alrighty, so I'm going to try this. Hopefully we got this right. And this should work right about now. All right. here. There we go. I had to fix the audio halfway through, but yes, we're gonna be replaying that video multiple times throughout the likes of the stream. So hey, if you missed it that sort of first time, don't worry, we're gonna be playing it about 3 more times towards the end of it. So yes, you guys will be able to get your hands on the likes of these Dragonheart dice over at mithralarmory.com. So make sure you guys are tuning on in over to there. And again, links will be formed and posted in the likes of the description down below of this video, as well as in chat over on the Twitch side of things. But that is all that we got for over there. But again, thank you guys Mithral Armory for sponsoring the likes of this video and this stream. But so enough of all of that sort of good stuff. Vahid, it's been a while.
Yes.
It's been a while. Let's get some introductions out of the way. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, those dice are amazing, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, my
How do people make that kind of stuff? It's incredible.
I don't know. Apparently, like, if you guys noticed this, I don't know if you did, but there is a dragon on every single side or every single face of all the dice. So not just the D20, but on the D6s, D4s, there's a dragon on every single one of them. It is insane.
Insane.
Man. Yeah. But hey, Vahid, so I know who you are, but maybe some of our viewers, they don't necessarily know who you are, what you do, and all that good stuff. So if you would please be so kind to go ahead and introduce yourself to the lovely fine people.
Thank you. First of all, thanks so much, Sensei, for this opportunity to come on your show. You know, we've connected a couple of times in the past, and I always love doing shows with you, interacting with your very loyal, passionate followers. It's really great to connect with you. So thanks so much for this opportunity to come on the show. I know you've had a break for a short while, so to come in when you're doing fresh and doing this new stuff with the multiple streaming on multiple platforms is a real honor. So thank you very much. So in terms of me, so my name is Vahid, and as Sensei said, I am the DM for a show called Dice Legenz. So we're a Dungeons and Dragons show. We stream on Twitch, and we put our videos up on YouTube midway a few days later. And our show is a 5e Dungeons and Dragons show that we stream out of a studio in New Zealand, where I live. And we have a cast of, there's 5 of us. I'm the DM, and we've got 4 players, and ours is we know each other through the TV and theater world. So we're all television and stage professionals. So yeah, that's how we all know each other. And so yeah, so that's a quick introduction. We're in New Zealand, D&D show.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, hey, that pretty much says a lot right then and there. You actually answered one of my questions that I was gonna ask further down the line. What are you doing? You got the show notes or something, V? What's happening?
Sorry,
Nah.
I'm just too enthusiastic.
No, you're good. So actually, that was the question on whether you guys knew each other beforehand when it came to starting up Dice Legend. But we're gonna go all the way into that, and we're gonna break all of that down in just one second. But here, I guess I'll introduce myself to the likes of the people, for those who don't know and are just joining on in for the first time. So hey everybody, my name is SenseiSuplex. Some people call me by Sensei, others call me Suplex, some people call me Key. Any of those 3 is perfectly fine, as I basically am a professional dungeon master, and also the likes of the grand lead of a MMORPG, a grand universe known as Project Aurora. We basically have a giant, massive sort of system where me and several other dungeon masters like myself, we all run our games in the same living, persistent universe, and they can affect each other in a big and small ways. He actually was a part of it as a player at one point, as you played Einjar, the Red Orc Rogue. It was pretty freaking awesome. So yeah, that's what basically we do here. I guess you can find me on pretty much every platform, from Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, you name it. Type in SenseiSuplex, you'll probably find somewhere or someone, or you'll probably find me over there. And if you don't find me, well, as I've said before, you have all rights and all authority to be able to suplex that person. But I am not held responsible for what happens after the fact, but you have my permission to at least try. So that said, oh man, Vahid, let's start from the very, very, very beginning. I think we've had this conversation a little bit, but I just want to make sure I got the sort of the story right. So I always ask this question to pretty much anybody, especially dungeon masters, but I think it would be a pretty cool idea to let the people know where or how you got into this sort of crazy TTRPG known as Dungeons and Dragons. So like, what were your beginnings with the well, I guess TTRPGs in general, and why did you get into them? Go ahead.
Sure, yeah. So I started, although I live in New Zealand, I was actually born in Bloomington, Indiana. So, and Bloomington's a university town. And so, actually a friend of mine found out from someone else at university, this is when we were kids, when I was 7 and he was like 8, he heard about this thing called Dungeons and Dragons. He brought it home, he didn't know any of the rules, and we started playing this game. But we didn't have any rule books, we didn't have any dice, it was all totally theater of the mind of a 7 and 8-year-old. And then that was my first introduction, and then my parents bought me the red basic box set. So I have then played every edition since then, and I just fell in love with it because I've always been interested in adventure and fantasy and being heroic, you know?
Yeah.
And so, and then it was really my friends and my brother and sister. And that's who we played it with, and have then done it all the way through childhood. And I just thought it was the coolest thing. The idea that it was a nerdy pursuit was just, there wasn't any conception that was the case. I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And I guess because it is. And so then all the way through my life, I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons and then a whole bunch of other games along the way. And, you know, and here I am now doing it as in a professional capacity, really.
Yeah. It's actually funny. So probably not, but we'll get into more of this later. Did you ever think that, hey, you starting off with like D&D, like, so you played the like very, very first edition, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you probably didn't expect yourself like, okay, you're just playing this random little role-playing game, rolling a bunch of dice, and then a couple of years down the line, you're doing this sort of professionally in an entire live crowd and all that stuff. I bet you that definitely has been sort of a crazy sort of shift, right?
No, for sure. When we were teenagers, my brother and myself, we had this vision of opening up a shop, and in that shop, running Dungeons and Dragons games for people. But that was the closest thing. But that was before anyone had opened up any games cafes. You know, it was before there was any of that kind of stuff. And so that was our first thing back when we were teenagers. And actually that predated the internet, in fact. So this idea of having a D&D show, there was nothing like that. No, there was no conception that could ever exist. So, no, it's, to be honest, even 2 years ago, even a year and a half ago, I didn't actually see myself doing this. But now this is what I spend so much of my time doing.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Like, I think I've told you the sort of story on my end of like kind of how I got into D&D, and definitely didn't see myself doing this or playing this game at all. But that is amazing. That really is. Especially and that's the thing that I really, really like about 5th edition, or just Dungeons and Dragons, and heck, even TTRPGs in general. You have so many people from different walks of life, no matter what, pretty much, again, coming from anywhere and everywhere, all being able to sort of be able to sit down and all just roll some dice together and role play themselves as elves, fighting dragons, and going on these sort of crazy adventures and making memories and bonds that, again, people are going to remember for years. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's so cool. So cool. There's like nothing, I don't think there's anything really like it, to be honest. I don't know.
Actually, it's interesting that you talk about that because, like, I have memories that are stored in my brain as, you know, really strong visual memories of things that didn't happen in the real world, happened in the fictional world, but because it used my entire imagination, like my entire mind was engaged in the process of creating those visual images, they're just as strong in my mind, even though they're from my teenage years, as things that happened in real life, I guess. So it is it is fascinating how strong and powerful the imagination and shared storytelling is.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. But hey, here we are. Here we are. D&D has definitely changed over the likes of the years, and I mean, personally, from what I've seen, I'm again a little Dungeons and Dragons baby, but from what I've seen, it's definitely grown to the point where, again, it's a lot more, how you say, it's become a lot more accessible for people just from all around to be able to enjoy and play it, right? And I think that's definitely a really,
For sure.
really cool and good thing, you know? So
Yeah, because you've only been doing D&D for a relatively short period of time,
oh yeah,
haven't you?
yeah,
What, like only three or so 4 years, right?
3 years. Let me see. It's 2022. It started around 2018. So like we'll chalk it up to like 3.5 years. Chalk it up to 3.5. So
Yeah, so in 3.5 years, you've gone from being introduced to the game, playing it, to running a massive universe online. I mean, that is a pretty quantum leap.
yeah, yeah. It gets even crazier because it's just like how fast people can really get sucked into the game. Literally the day before yesterday, a buddy of mine, who I taught how to play D&D, like they were the first group I ever ran. They sent me a picture over Discord, and they have like the whole setup. They show me a picture of their dice. They show me a picture of a dungeon master screen as they actually took up on the role of being the dungeon master themselves, teaching new players. I'm over here like, that's cool, that's beautiful. Because it's just like, oh my gosh, it's like a sort of thing of passing the torch. I don't know what you want to call it. It's just awesome to see
Sure.
so many people being able to jump into this sort of crazy little hobby of ours, right?
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. Like on our show,
Mhm.
3 of the players on our show had never played Dungeons and Dragons before we formed our stream, right?
Yeah.
So of the 5 of us, 3 of them hadn't played. Well, a couple weeks ago, one of them, Raylene's her name,
Hmm.
she told us that she had started dungeon mastering just for
Oh shoot.
she'd only been playing a couple of months, and here she is getting into it, running her own game. And she said it was a cute little wee short game, but still it was her first thing. So it's really interesting to see these players in our show who didn't know anything about it. And then the next time we did a play test we did a few play testing things, and then the next thing you know, they're coming along. They've got all the books, they've got all the dice, they've made spell cards, they've made character
Oh man.
images. They're just fully immersed in it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah. Like I remember, did you ever meet him? I don't think you met him, but there's one of my players, Finn. He's in the Friday game, like in the snowy sort of area, the Azure Taiga. When he first started playing, like he's a fantastic artist and all that stuff. So he decided to, really just start implementing lots of portions of himself, and like the things that he's capable of into the likes of the D&D game. So he would be doing, tons and tons of art for the sessions, but more so than that, he was playing a bard, and he would actually go the extra mile and write out like poems and other things that he'd actually recite in the D&D game. And it was just like, holy crap, I love this. This is great. This is great. People really can like fall in love and fall into the D&D rabbit hole pretty quickly, which is freaking fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Like, well, yeah, one of the players in our show, Truby. Oh, Truby
Yeah.
came on. Hey,
Yeah,
Truby's been on your show.
we love Truby.
Well, you know Truby, of course. Truby, he's a lore master. What he loves is he gets into the history
Mhm.
and the lore. So I think he knows more about the world than I do.
Like
Like,
the lore of Faerun, or whatever the standard 5e setting is, right?
yeah, like in our game, ours is a homebrew thing. So like he
Mhm,
knows all the NPCs' names. He knows where they're
mhm.
from. He knows all that kind of stuff. He knows how to pronounce their names. Yeah, he's like the repository of knowledge. Because you know how sometimes when you're a DM, you have to improvise things. There's no way that you can
Yeah.
possibly prepare for everything that's going to happen in a session. It's impossible. And so, of course, part of that is creating non-playing characters on the spot.
Hmm.
Well, as a DM, sometimes it's even if I document the NPCs that have been created on the fly, sometimes that's not as strong in my brain as ones that I've prefigured out, but he remembers all of them. Yeah, so I just love how these kind of fictional worlds, because they engage our imagination, they just bring in so many different things. They engage our whole brain. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I have that for like a player called Quaint Cat. She is the resident lore master and note taker, mainly because all the other players are too lazy to take notes, but you didn't hear that from me. But but yeah, I would love to see like how Truby and Cat's notes sort of compare to each other. I'd imagine. I could only imagine. You guys will be able to fill out entire like tomes of lore for D&D. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, actually, I'm curious. So it actually is interesting because a lot of the people, or a lot of the time from what I've seen, people who really, really like to take notes, or people who get really, really invested into the likes of the game, sometimes they decide to go the extra mile. They take the leap of faith and they decide to, instead of being on the opposite side of the screen, they go behind the screen and they become the dungeon master. Everybody has a sort of origin story, but Vahid, what was your origin story? Why exactly did you take up the big role behind the screen?
Yeah, sure. Well, when I first started playing D&D as a kid, as a 7-year-old, this friend of ours, simply because he was older, he was the DM, because when you're a bunch of kids and it's the oldest kid that does the DMing, or at least that's what seemed obvious to us. And then, but then as we got older, that because I was then the oldest one of our family, my brother, sister, myself, I started DMing. And in the first edition, it was a war game, really. We played individual characters, role-playing, schmole-playing. There wasn't any interaction between characters. It was, I listen to the door, I break the door open, I kill the monsters, I collect the treasure, I go up a level. That's what it was all about, And so being a DM in those days was all around knowing the rules, and that's all. It was moderating a war game. But then as teenagers, that became my default role, the forever DM. And so as we became more sophisticated as teenagers and then into adult life, that just took on. And then of course storytelling became a big thing. And so instead of using modules, because I just used a whole bunch of modules when I was first starting out, because I think that they're just brilliant, such a great way of learning how to DM.
Yeah.
And then of course, as an adult, then I've really fallen in love with building worlds, and I haven't used a module for, I don't know, I don't remember the last module I used. I don't think it's been in my adult life. And so in fact, it was actually took a mental shift for me to consider, because I was an forever DM. It actually took a mental shift for me to consider, hang on, the players want to be a DM? But that's my job,
Yeah.
Oh, man. And so now when I'm not streaming, my brother and these friends that I've played with for decades, they do the DMing now. And so the only place that I'm DMing is on the show now. So
You're living the life. You get to play, you get to DM, you get to do it all.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. That is super cool. That's actually that sort of thing. Like it's interesting how you're kind of the forever DM, but eventually, you got that shining light where it's like, finally I can be a player. But it's also interesting because at some point it seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, you were like really, really into the groove of things, like, hey, this is my thing, this is my role. Wait, oh, I guess I can, do the other role every now and again. How was that sort of transition like going from DM to player after so long?
It's actually, it actually was hard for me at first, to be honest. Because I was so used to controlling the whole world
Yeah.
changing that focus to being a single player, and then being the like in theory one of the heroes, and as opposed to playing all the villains, was definitely a mental shift for me.
Hmm.
I really enjoy it, and I find it really fun, but it did take a mental shift to get into that mindset of running a single character, and then also trying to figure out, as a player, what do I want my role in this group to be?
Mm.
And so, because I have done so much DMing, which is really the center of attention for so much of the game, because you have to do most of the talking as the DM, because you're
Yeah.
facilitating everything. So, in a D&D game that my brother's been running, I've definitely decided to go for a support character, so that others have the limelight, so that I don't, dominate so much. And
I've actually
yeah,
noticed one
so
thing. A lot of dungeon masters, when they first start, being a player, a lot of the time not all the time, but a lot of the time they try to tend toward more supportive roles. This is just an observation I've sort of seen. I don't know why'd you want to do that again?
well, um, I guess I was keen for, because in the D&D group that my brother's running, there are some younger folks as well, and I really just didn't want to stomp all over them.
Yeah.
So I deliberately chose a character who was the bodyguard of one of the others,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a straight up fighter. So very similar, vanilla in many ways, in a similar way that in our show, in the Dice Legends show, Truby deliberately made a vanilla fighter. So I did the same kind of thing, and have focused on the character being interesting, as opposed to him having crazy abilities,
Yeah.
and instead had this character be a support for these younger players, so that they can not be, so I don't stomp on them in terms of time playing and role playing opportunities and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Interesting stuff. Interesting. I remember when so I can kind of speak a little bit on it from my sort of experience. So I had started playing D&D, and I was a player first. I had to learn the game, and my dungeon master eventually introduced me, like, here are the rules. Here's how you make a character, yada yada yada. Shortly after, I think after the fourth session, I decided to start DMing, and then a couple months later, once that semester ended, I started DMing a whole campaign. Right. Fast forward a little while, after I started DMing and I started playing new characters, where I started making up character concepts, a lot of them tended more, instead of hey, when I first started off, like, I'm the quote unquote main character, I'm like just a super cool, really really awesome sort of individual, barely any flaws, yada yada yada, and it turned towards more of it turned towards
Yeah.
more of like a hey, I don't have to be the main character. I don't have to be the center of attention. What if I play characters that just help others, feel awesome, and help others, really, really being able to, show their stuff and just enjoy the game even more than usual, right? That's what it seemed to be that a lot of my roles sort of tended towards. Whether that's just like mechanically, or just like kind of what you mentioned, I built a support or a supportive character, the big brooding bodyguard, and then maybe the mouthpiece, right, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
interesting.
And I also, as a player now, I quite enjoy playing characters like bards,
Mhm.
who are designed to not necessarily be good, really good at something, but can do a whole bunch of little things. Bardic inspiration, just firing off little support things for people all the time. I quite like doing that now. And for like this fighter, as I described before, I chose that what's the defensive, is it not defensive, there's a
Protection
it's a
fighting
bit early,
style.
the fighting style where you can give your opponent disadvantage as long as you're If
Yeah,
they
you
try
have
to
a
attack your
shield
buddy
or
standing
something.
next to you.
Yeah, I think it's protection.
Protection, yeah. So, anyway, it's a lot of fun.
Oh man.
Hey, by the way, Max, I see Max chatting in there. Good to see you,
Yeah.
Max.
They're actually wondering, what are you and Truby gonna come back for Secrets in the Sands? We miss you.
Yeah, we loved doing that session. It was just yeah, we really loved that session. It was so fun.
Yeah.
And they're great characters, and the
Okay.
setting is awesome.
Yeah. We'll get you in here. Don't worry. We'll talk a little bit, maybe off screen or whatever, getting you guys maybe in for another cameo episode. Because I mean, after they get done with this sort of quest and they get done with the little bandit cave that you guys left them with, after they get done with that, I may contact one of you guys and be like, hey, they just got done. If you want, you can make a quick little cameo, whether it's 10 minutes or the entire session. Up to you guys, right? But we'll talk about all that stuff later. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. Oh man, live, laugh, love. That is a line. Live, laugh, love. Oh goodness. So Vahid, I have a question for you. So now that we've talked about how you got into D&D, talked about how you became a dungeon master, eventually we fast forward a couple of years and you have this whole sort of production, this whole sort of D&D themed show called Dice Legenz. First, if you can, we'll start us off with this. Can you describe what the show is, and then we're gonna go into afterwards what made you want to make the show. But first, to all the people, describe what exactly Dice Legenz is.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for letting me do this shameless plug. I love it.
Oh, hold on. Hey, don't say that out loud. Don't say it out loud.
Hey, so our show is a Dungeons and Dragons show. As a core concept, we really want our story to be the most exciting, fast-paced, hilarious fantasy adventure that we can make. That's what we want. We're trying to make the world's most exciting fantasy story. That's what we're trying to do. And we're using the Dungeons and Dragons rules to help us do it. So for us, the adventure and the story is at the heart of it. And what is at the heart of an adventure and story is characters. And so what we're doing is we're trying to create this adventure story that uses Dungeons and Dragons rules because they give us some balance in the story, true unpredictability. I can tell you a story by myself, but I know what the end is going to be. You throw a bunch of characters together, you add some dice mechanics that are completely random, and adventure, which is truly unpredictable, unfolds in a way that is exciting for the cast and for the audience. And so our show, so that at the heart is what we're trying to do, to create this exciting, fast-paced story that is engaging to people that play Dungeons and Dragons, but also we want it to be accessible to people that don't play Dungeons and Dragons as well. And so our show is a bunch of, other than myself, the other four come from the acting world and TV presenting world. And they are brilliant at creating these characters, which are the heart of the story. And so our story is based on for this campaign, the one that we're doing, is four humble town guards that are living in a grand walled city called Aratai. And that grand walled city is like this, the biggest kind of settlement in this part of the world. And the adventure takes place almost entirely within this huge walled city, where there's treachery and darkness rising, and our humble town guards are really, in many ways, overpowered and unequipped to be able to cope with the danger and the threat that beseeches them, but still it comes down to them to be able to not only save themselves and their city, but also their loved ones. So that, in a nutshell, is the storyline itself. Four humble town guards striving to overcome this rising tide of darkness.
Yeah. Oh, man, that is really, really cool and interesting. I've seen a lot of stuff, and actually, I linked it. I linked Dice Legenz channel, so if you guys want to go check that out, again, twitch.tv/Dice Legenz. You can find them on YouTube and Twitch over there. The link's in the chat, so you guys can be able to find that and go swing on over there. Everybody, actually, right now, real quick, stop the show. Go over there. Go drop a follow onto their channel because they're freaking awesome and they're great. The production value behind it. Okay, we joke around on this channel talking about like production value, Sensei's got it, but no. Actual production value, actual quality content, it's over on Dice Legenz. So go head over to their channel real quick, drop a follow, and then come back over here so we can start and talk about this sort of whole thing. So you told us what it's about, but Vahid, tell us, what made you want to be able to like sit down and go, hey, I've done this D&D thing. I've even been a dungeon master for a while, but you know what? I want to make a D&D show. Not just a normal D&D game, but a D&D show. We're going to record it. We're going to have maybe even the whole studio thing. What made you kind of want to embark on this little journey?
Yeah, that's such a great question, because it is a big difference, right? It's so different between a bunch of friends gathered around a table or connecting up on a virtual tabletop that are getting together with a bunch of friends. It's a very different leap to decide, hey, let's share this with the world.
Yeah.
You know? And so for me, for Dice Legenz, it was actually only about this time last year that we decided to do it seriously. So what had happened is, about a year and a half ago to 2 years ago, my eldest daughter, who's been a Critical Role fan for a long time, and we must say that Critical Role has done so much to help the Dungeons and Dragons and the TTRPG community. I mean, what they have done has been so helpful. Anyway, so I didn't know about them.
Really?
My eldest daughter introduced me to them.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I thought the idea was, like a lot of people, I thought it was crazy, you know?
Yeah, it's just like, what do you mean people are like having episodic series of D&D games? What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Exactly. Because my experience in the bad old days of doing Dungeons and Dragons, of having like my younger relatives, cousins or whatever, watching the games, they would always get bored. So I was thinking, wow, really? And so then I started watching it, because something I haven't mentioned before is I'm in the TV world. I haven't mentioned that we're all of our team are in the TV world. My role is I've been in production in TV. So I've done animation production, I've done some script writing, and a whole lot of sound mixing and music composing. That's really my bread and butter, as I'm a music composer. But anyway, you get involved in the TV world and you start to view everything from production lenses. Yeah. And so I started watching some Critical Role, and I thought, wow, this is fascinating what they're doing and how they're actually turning it into a show. And I watched a whole bunch of other streams, and I saw, that there's this huge spectrum of people that are a bunch of friends who are quite happy just to they love the game and they love their story so much they've put a few cameras in front of themselves, or they're connected through a virtual tabletop and they share it to the world, and they're happy with, a handful of followers, and if they get Twitch affiliate, they're excited, but it's not a big deal for them, it's just about sharing the experience.
Yeah.
And then there's that kind of big kind of exponential curve where there's just a couple who it's a truly economic endeavor, right?
Yeah.
It's a serious show. And so I started thinking, well, how would you do it from a TV production point of view? And so it was about this time last year that I told my older daughter, let's do it. Let's just pursue this idea of a TV style production of doing Dungeons and Dragons. What would it be like? And so she'd done a whole bunch of business papers at university. And so we started going through that process of making a business plan and considering the technical things. And revenue streams and expenses and all that kind of stuff. And that process took us, through till about October last year when we decided, well, let's go for it. And we started, so it was at that point. So what's that? It was like 7 months ago, I guess, was when we decided, yeah, let's do it let's do this seriously. And decided to form a company and approach it like a TV production.
Oh man, that is insane. Like, I can't even fathom. You've shown me just a little bit of the things of like kind of what goes into the production. Like you've told me a little bit about it, but like from the cameras, lighting, microphones, all of that sort of craziness. Again, just tackling it all from a sort of TV perspective. Boy, we're gonna talk a little bit more about that, of like maybe some of the what do you call it? The struggles when it came to like sort of okay, now you have the idea, but actually implementing it, what kind of pitfalls did you sort of run into, and what kind of triumphs did you also have? We'll get into that a little bit more later. But so you have the idea of, okay, this is what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a D&D show, we're doing it from this sort of perspective. But how did you convince all these individuals, your players and everybody, like a part of like staff and everything, that hey, this is the idea that I want to do? Did you know like the players beforehand? Did you like
Sure.
meet and bring them onto the show like specifically for this reason? How'd that sort of go?
Yeah, great. So how it happened was, so my daughter and I we formed this company, my daughter and myself. And we knew that one of the things that we had figured out by watching a whole bunch of shows of this big wide range is that the cast members are really critical, really crucial. I'll use the word crucial, not critical, because the critical world in our world is tied up with a whole bunch of other things. And so we were really looking for cast members that could create a dual relationship with the audience. We want cast members that the audience will love, the cast members themselves, but also cast members that can create characters that the audience will love.
Okay.
So that's what we were looking for. We were looking for cast members that were really engaging on screen, but not just themselves, but were able to create characters that people would just fall in love with. Now, I had worked for a long time with one of our cast members whose name's Ronnie, or Longi. Now, Ronnie is a world famous in New Zealand TV presenter.
Yeah, you've mentioned them before.
Yeah, and Ronnie is incredible. And so he was but he wasn't working in TV at that time. He is now, but I managed to catch him in this perfect window. And so I called him up. I said, Ronnie, brother, you want to do this thing? And he said, yes, of course I do. He had no idea what I was talking about. He'd never played D&D in his life. He thought I was talking about Magic of the Gathering, right? He was completely on the wrong page. But he was keen because we had such a close working relationship and he trusted me completely. He was in no matter what. And so
awesome.
once we had him, he is such a draw card. And so then he's the only one that I really knew, but my daughter knew a couple of others. And then so we just reached out to some other TV producers. And I mean, this sounds very heartless in some ways. We reached out to some TV producers that I know and said, hey, here's what I'm wanting to do. Can you recommend anybody? And we got this list of people. And the first person on the list that was recommended by 3 people was Truby. And so Truby, who's been on our show, I hadn't met Truby before. And so, but he didn't return my calls. And then in the meantime, we contacted our other 2, Raylene and Monique. And Raylene was the second person to come on board. And she is just so lovable. Anyone that's seen our show, you will fall in love with Raylene. She is just such an engaging, sweet soul. And then Truby finally came on board. And then at the very last minute, Monique came on board. And
Truby
so
finally
we had our
answered
full
your
team.
call. He finally answered the call.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
Truby
man.
was touring at the time. And so he was just too tired in the evenings to call back. But eventually, yeah, we got together. And then, as you asked before, yes, we did a whole bunch of play testing
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we needed to make sure that, thankfully, they all knew each other from the acting world.
Okay,
I just
okay.
didn't know them all. And so, but it was quickly came together in some play testing, and our bonds of friendship have become really genuine. So, I mean, you'll see that there's definite chemistry in our show, loving bonds. And I think that that's really essential. And they're not fake,
No.
they're not contrived. There's truly now a group of friends. We didn't know each other, we didn't all know each other a year ago, but yeah, and that's how we've come together.
Actually, I want to tackle onto that point again. Just talking about D&D and like one of the beauties of it, like being able to contact people from literally just the TV world and being able to bring them on again, having a rough idea of who they are, being able to make some phone calls to them, but again, not really being too much of like, you know, really close friends or having too close of a bond. But then through the game, through experience and like playing with one another, running the show, eventually like those bonds, again, they became freaking great, amazing. Like you guys can see it in the likes of their show, like how connected, how close these individuals seem. And it really, because that bond is genuine, like you mentioned before, it really does enhance the show like 100%. It's so cool to be able to see that. To I guess throw a little bit of my experience on it. When it came to like running D&D, when it came to like Soulbound especially, I definitely started to notice it when I have, you know, because I run all my games online, so I'll have people from all around the world playing this one crazy game. You'll have people from Ireland, and you'll have another person from New York, someone from Australia, whatever, doesn't matter. But we all sit down, we all play this game, and no matter how many miles are in between us, you see actual genuine friendships coming out of it, and it is crazy. It really is. Like, for example, Quint Cat, individual I mentioned before, who's like the grand lore master and note taker extraordinaire, and also Sammy, I think she was in here in the chat or a little bit earlier. But seeing them who have nothing to do with one another, they're in two different campaigns, and then they start playing D&D together, and within minutes, I'm not even joking, minutes, immediately became like IRL friends and all that good stuff. Like it is insane, like the type of bonds and the just the connections that can be formed over this game. It is something else. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think there's something about create a shared creation. When we create, this is just a theory, okay? This isn't. There's no. I don't know if there's any research behind this, but my theory is that there's something about when you create something with someone else, you give a little part of yourself, they give a little part of themselves, and together you create something bigger, something that neither of you had considered. And there's something about when we create things together, it's like we have this interconnection. And so I wonder if that's part of what's happening, because like in your case, you're not even around a table together, right? You're connecting in using virtual tabletops, but you're still doing this, you're still creating together. And also because D&D is cooperative, you know, I mean, people do try to be competitive, like some players try to be competitive and like trying to steal all the attention or trying to get all the loot or all that kind of stuff. But that's really not that common anymore. And now because it's a cooperative endeavor, you know, I think that lends itself to what you're saying as well about creating those bonds.
It's something I actually never really thought about it, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense with that theory of, again, just being able to make something with someone and that being like a sort of positive experience overall. Yeah, I mean, especially when you do this at a consistent sort of rate, because you're doing most of the time, like you come together weekly, bi-weekly, or whatever it may be, and then you're there for hours. This isn't a game where it's just like, I don't know, yeah, hit your buddy up online. It's like, hey, you want to play, I don't know, Call of Duty or whatever, right? Any sort of video game. You play for 30 minutes, maybe an hour at most, and then that's the end of it. No, you come here, you sit down for 3 to 4 hours or however long you play. You do it on a weekly, consistent basis. Yeah, it's only natural that not even just the bonds in game are formed, but just out of game of you guys, you know, fighting dragons together. It's something else. Something else.
Yes. For sure, definitely.
So, going into the sort of next question. So, we talked about again. You started D&D, you became a dungeon master, you got Dice Legenz, you got the crew. You got the crew of individuals, the cast. But now, it's time to hit go live, start streaming, get everything started. So my question is to you, Vahid, how has it been transitioning from the sort of TV world where all your experience was to the live streaming world? Now you're entering my domain. This is what I know about. I don't know too much about TV. I know live streaming. That's all I got.
Yeah.
But yeah, because like in a very, very short time, you've seen some amazing growth on and success on platforms that typically takes long months, sometimes even years, multiple.
Yeah.
So you're definitely doing something right. So how was it jumping into a completely new sphere? Go for it. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, sure. So one of the things right from the beginning that we did when we formed this as a company is that we thought that we wanted to do exactly what you've said, that we wanted to shortcut. We wanted to be able to pole vault a couple of years. And because we had seen that a lot of really talented content creators, it takes a long time to be able to get the traction, to be able to raise above the sea of other streamers. There are a lot of people that do this, right? There's heaps all around the world. And so what we decided that what we needed to do is, first of all, we needed to have the perfect cast. And there's a bunch of TV approaches that we needed to take to our production. So, and that would require some money. So we were very fortunate to have been able to convince some investors at the beginning of the project to help us fund. And if we didn't have the backing of these investors, we would not be able to have done exactly what you said. And so we've been able to hire a studio, get some good lights, get some good cameras, so that from the very first episode, it could look decent. Mm-hmm. Our budget isn't big enough that we can afford really, really fancy cameras. Our cameras aren't as good as the Critical Role cameras, for example.
Yeah.
Theirs are just, really beautiful, but our cameras are
like
still
$1 million budget, so hey.
That's exactly right. We didn't have $1 million budget. And so, so it's a case of creating a set, getting everyone around the table so there was true chemistry. Thankfully for us living in New Zealand, we, through COVID times where everyone else around the world was in isolation for over a year, that kind of stuff, we weren't in New Zealand. So that gave us a big advantage that we could be around a table right from the beginning. Mm-hmm. And so then, and having those investors meant that we could get our base production value pretty good from the first episode. And it meant that we could invest a little bit in marketing. And so we've experimented with some marketing just to kind of get a bit of brand awareness. That's the crass kind of marketing term. I don't know if it's crass, but that's a marketing term of brand awareness. But basically just to get it so that if people go onto Twitch, they might have seen our ads on YouTube or Facebook, and they might say, "Oh yeah, I recognize that," and it might have some, subconscious psychological connection. Mm-hmm. And so, between marketing, cast, and making sure that our production looked as professional as we could within that budget, those were the main three things. And we also made sure that leading up in the couple of, the 6 weeks leading up to our first show, that we did do as much social and paid marketing as we could afford and as time allowed. So that was kind of leading up to it. And then, sorry to talk and talk and talk, but
Oh,
since
no.
then, I'm in the advantageous position that I can invest a whole bunch of time into it. And what I have found is that as cool as that marketing stuff, that paid marketing on YouTube and Facebook, as cool as that was, as giving us an initial push at the beginning,
Yeah.
it wasn't enough to sustain us. And our first episode was really good, but then our next two episodes were disappointingly small.
Mhm.
And what I discovered really quickly is actually
Oh, to make
what's
sure to clarify, so like disappointingly small, like on Twitch itself, like maybe like I don't know, lower viewership or something. What do you mean by that?
exactly.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yes, that's what I meant. The show itself, I and also we had some technical issues, which I'll come to in a moment.
Hmm.
So, episode 1, we were so excited. Episode 2 and 3, we were really bummed out. We were really disappointed. And then
Yeah.
I found out, I discovered that actually what we are doing right now is the most important thing. The connection, real connection, networking with other people in the industry and with our followers is the most important thing. Like you and I have, we've done a chat on my show. I've been a player on yours, and now here I am back here.
Yeah.
These connections, and because it took me a while to figure out that at the heart, D&D is about connections. It's about connections with your players. And in a show like this, it's about connection with other people that do this stuff in the community and with our audience. And so really, I've been just focusing so much on connections.
Yeah, I've seen you. I've had my little binoculars out, seeing you having a couple of guest stars on there. You actually have a good friend of ours, Dead Aussie Gamer. I saw them on there a little while ago. I just missed it. I was like, dang it, because I just woke up. But yeah,
Yeah, because I saw.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I saw you joined us for that stream, and right at the end, I think you were just there for like the last 15 minutes or something.
Yeah, something like that. Like I was just waking up. I was like, all right, I gotta wash my face, turn on the computer, and get ready to go to the gym. Like, wait, oh, Dice Legenz is on. I guess I'll turn this on. Wait, Dead Aussie Gamer. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that's great. That is great. So it's interesting to see like just you even going over the process of like kind of going through like, okay, this is how it sort of started off. This is now kind of what we're doing to try to help out with that. And just as you're sort of discovering how this whole live streaming sphere, all of it sort of works, right? Awesome. So,
But there are differences.
Oh, good.
Sorry, no, you go, please.
No. I'm going to another thing, but go ahead.
But there's differences between TV and live streaming. And even though, I'm used to live TV and our cast members are used to being live, either on a stage or in TV, there's a whole bunch of different things about live streaming. One of them that I love is the ability to refine things as you go along.
Yeah.
Like in a TV show, take Moon Knight. Okay, just to pull a TV show out of the air.
Yeah.
They have to create the entire show.
Oh yeah, you're right. Like start to finish, and then
start to
air
finish,
it, right?
They air it. They have no opportunity to refine it. If they're not hitting the mark, they go down as a bomb.
They don't get a season 2. That's it.
They don't get, and then they don't get a season 2. Whereas one of the things I love about live streaming is we can put stuff out there and see how it goes. And like, let's say there's a technical issue, like for example, a microphone's not turned on, right? Now, if you were on conventional TV, if you had a big technical issue in the middle of your show, well, people would bag you. But live streaming, the audiences are so loving and supportive. They'll say, oh, by the way, Sensei, or hey, by the way, Vahid, your mic's muted.
Happened literally just earlier in the stream. Hey, couldn't hear the thing. 2 or 3 people saying, hey, Sensei, turn this on. Oh, man.
Yeah. So I think that's one of the things that I love about it. And and I think that I'm really fascinated and much more excited about this approach than TV approach. We all know that scheduled TV is a dying beast, and just the amount of people that are flocking to this kind of medium is just exciting.
Actually, I'm curious because I've been having a conversation with my roommate about this. Real quick, everybody in chat, how many people actually like consistently watch TV compared to YouTube? Which one do you watch more in chat? Do you watch YouTube more or do you watch TV more? Like actual television, you sit down at the couch or wherever and all that stuff. I'm curious to see what everybody has to say. I know personally, maybe it's because I'm just younger or whatever, I don't know. I watch a lot more YouTube. Like that is my quote unquote television for the day. I also watch a certain couple of content creators, however many. And then, that is the way I consume everything. So I think you're definitely right when it comes to this sort of dying beast sort of thing. But we'll see what everybody says in chat. 90% YouTube, 10% TV. Max is joking around saying, TV, I thought it was just a myth. Londell saying YouTube, TV, but I'm an old person. Fair enough. Yeah, so it's definitely interesting to see for sure. We've actually, also to harp onto this, so Vahid, have you ever heard of G4 TV?
Yeah, I've only watched a little bit of their stuff though.
Have you watched it on like actual like television, or have you watched it on just Twitch?
On Twitch.
On Twitch. So I don't know how much you know about them, but do you know a little bit about them or not?
I've only seen a little bit because B Dave
B Dave Walters.
He's been on it, and so I've flicked onto that, but I've really only watched a little bit of it.
Yeah. This actually I'm glad you actually mentioned B Dave Walters, because that's what I was actually going to go into. So G4, like long time ago, this was when I'm a young sort of individual. So I remember when I was kind of way younger, like almost a kid, they would show all the sort of like gaming related stuff on, TV. And I was like, what? That's crazy. This is awesome. This is the sort of channel for me. And eventually it died out. And then recently it got brought back on the likes of streaming platforms. And I think they're also on TV as well back again. But it is definitely interesting to see how they didn't necessarily say, okay, we're going to come back on a sort of TV front. We're going to do this sort of newer age sort of way of consuming content through the likes of live media, streaming platforms, all that stuff, connecting with the audience, kind of similar to what you mentioned, and more, bringing in guest stars, whether they're actual celebrities or whether they're just fellow people in the sort of sphere for them being gaming and all that stuff. But to now go into it and tie it into D&D and TTRPGs, with B Dave Walters thing, they're running a Dungeons and Dragons show. Like it is a performance from what I've seen. It is insane.
That's right, yeah.
The amount of stuff they have sort of behind it. And I think,
like with full body acting in it.
Yeah, like the whole thing. And recently there has been a surge. Now, again, this is where a lot of my streaming consecration and sort of brain is going to come in. There's been a recent surge of like, not even just D&D shows, but just shows in general making their way onto Twitch and YouTube. I'm talking like people replicating game shows, talk shows, full-on productions, like episodic series and all that sort of stuff. So you guys doing over your thing over at Dice Legenz, kind of tackling it from that sort of TV production thing and onto the live streaming platform, I think that's going to be a lot more common in the future. And you guys getting the head start, that's huge. Well, that's going to be huge. Go for it.
Yeah, look, I think that's exactly right, because I think it's a completely different financial model. If you think of it, if we're talking about TV, you have to understand that they talk about the TV industry. It is an industry. It's not an art form. It's an industry. And industry means you make a product that you sell to someone. That's what an industry is, right? So the TV industry is all about you make a show, which is your product, and then you sell it to someone which is the TV broadcaster. That's the basics of the TV industry. Now, what we're doing, what you're doing, and what I'm doing, and what we're doing right now is a totally different model. So the question that arises is how do people create content and be able to live off of it? How do you make a living off of doing this thing that we love? And I think that this streaming model is incredible because the people that enjoy the show directly contribute to the show in a way that you don't see in any other platform. Like, no matter how much I love a show, let's use the example of let's see, The Mandalorian. All right, just to pull out a show that most people that are watching this have seen. I really enjoyed The Mandalorian. I loved it.
Really, really good.
But I haven't contacted the producer of the show and said, "Hey, take some money from me," right? You know, I haven't gone out of my way or like any other show.
Another thing of just like, hey. Producer of The Mandalorian, or the person who plays The Mandalorian themselves, hey, come on to my show, or whatever, right? It's not really...
Exactly.
It's not too much of a thing, right? Like, how do you contact them?
Yeah.
I don't know. But go for it.
And one of the things I find, like, I know that you had this on your stream, and we've had on our stream, is that people are so generous in this space, right? People will give their money to buy other people that they don't know subscriptions just because they want other people to have the same experience of loving the show that they have. I mean, where on earth do we encounter that?
It's becoming a lot more, this is more on content creation on websites like, you know, TikTok, Twitter, whatever it may be. But this is now just becoming more and more of a thing because of, I think, the live streaming platforms of like Twitch and YouTube making it more of a thing as we sort of go about, which is, that is crazy.
I think it's amazing. Like, in comparison, people will happily pirate a movie, right? Yeah. A movie that they love, that they really enjoy, they'll happily pirate it, you know, saying, oh, well, you know, the show's got millions of dollars of budget, it's not going to hurt them. But here we are, we're these small little content creators, and people voluntarily give us their money to support us so that we can create it. I think it's just a beautiful thing. And so it's one of the differences between the TV world and streaming that I think is awesome. And I think it's going to lead, as you say, to game shows and a whole bunch of other things that were never originally conceived as being able to be in these spaces.
And you're going to be able to, and again, it's not even just going to be a thing of like, okay, maybe it's like one or two people doing it. You turn on Twitch, you see tons and tons of people sort of viewing it, right? And it's only going to get bigger, But yeah, so going into that, let's sort of reel back on in. Back to the sort of topics. So we went kind of over like the transitioning from TV. We kind of went over a little bit of like biggest sort of or big struggles when it came to, you know, making this show Dice Legenz. But now let's sort of flip everything on its head. What do you believe so far? I know you guys are like, actually real quick, just to make sure I got this right. How long have you guys been doing Dice Legenz? Like a couple months, years? How long?
3 months.
Wait, hold on, no. You're messing with me. 3 months?
We started on January 12th was our first stream.
Wait, so you're telling me like when I came onto your show in like what, February, that you only been doing it for 1 month?
We've been doing it, I think something like that, a month, 6 weeks, something like that.
Guys, I think I'm doing something wrong here on Twitch. I don't know what's going on. I'm doing it wrong here. I don't know what's going on.
No, man, you have got the most amazing, like, empire. I mean, look how beautiful your frame looks. You got great graphics. You got this dedicated audience.
But you want to know my first live stream? My first live stream with me trying to stream D&D was half the time, like around 8 sessions of it, was me recording real and not even realizing my mic was off and they couldn't hear the players. That was my first experience live streaming. What? And that was like for a good 5-6 months. That is insane. 3 whole months. Guys, if you haven't, I don't know what to say. If you guys haven't followed their channel, like, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. You're missing out. This is...
It's very kind.
Oh my god. Here, let me do the exclamation point guest thing one more time. So what I was going to say, I guess in those small 3 months, what do you believe has been your biggest triumph for Dice Legenz? Like, whether it be biggest achievement, biggest success, and you can answer this in however way you want. Whether that's like in game, you know, like maybe it was more of a thing of like, you know, we were able to do our final episode of like a chapter where we beat a big bad evil guy, whatever. Or it could be something out of game, like for the company as a whole. You can answer it however you feel. But what do you think has just been the biggest triumph overall for Dice Legenz?
Yeah, sure. I think the first biggest one, the one that gave me the greatest sense, the first really big sense of relief, was overcoming technical issues in the first couple of episodes. Because I'm not a technical person. I'm a storyteller. I'm a musician, you know?
Yeah.
But as you know, when you're live streaming, there's a whole bunch of technical stuff that you have to do as well. Whereas in the TV world, you know, you've got a team of technicians that do that stuff for you. And so our first episode was brilliant. Our second episode, we had sound issues. And when you go and listen to it, I still love the second and the third episode, story-wise, and the cast are brilliant. But I still find it painful that my mic sound doesn't sound very good. And so those technical problems, and then there was one time when we were experimenting with pre-recording a guest. Because of the time zones, we needed to pre-record it, and we pre-recorded it, and we couldn't use any of it. We did the whole pre-record, and then listening back 2 days later, it was awful. The audio was just a disaster. It cut out every time we went to his full frame. The OBS hadn't been set up properly, so every time I went full frame on him, it was completely muted. Now, if we had done that live instead of pre-recording, people would have said straight away, hey, your mic's not working. We would have been able to fix it. Mm-hmm. But because we tried to pre-record it, tried to make it easier on ourselves with this guest, it was a complete disaster. And so those technical things in the first 4-6 weeks were really a weight on my shoulder. You know, and then when we finally were able to resolve those technical things, that was the first real victory. And then I think recently we've had a thing which has been a real emotional victory for us.
Actually, real quick.
Sorry, go Sensei.
I hold that thought. I don't want to cut you off, but I do want to give this sort of thing, or a bit of tip, or a bit of advice, because you actually just said something that a lot of people really, really overlook when it comes to content creation. So, if you notice, Vahid didn't say necessarily one sort of triumph was something sort of an external factor. Oh, we got 30 viewers, or oh, you know, we got a sponsorship or whatever, right? It was something, a task that they could necessarily control and that they could work on themselves. It wasn't sort of anything controlled by an external factor. It was controlled by an internal factor. A lot of the times that I see when it comes to content creation, whether you're a streamer, YouTuber, whatever, it may be anybody in this sort of general spheres, they will a lot of the time feel very, very down. They'll feel, you know, like kind of feeling bad because, hey, maybe a lot of people aren't sort of following me and I don't know necessarily where to go from there. But I think Dice Legenz, it's a story that kind of proves it true. If you more so focus on yourself, the quality of the content, what you're doing and just making it the best that you possibly can, and that being more of your focus, guys, they've been doing it for 3 months. That's what they focused on. Look at the results. I don't know. I don't know any other person to probably be able to show like, hey, focusing on yourself and really trying to improve or whatever, all those sort of little things that are controllable, that's probably the way to go. So there's a little bit of just my sort of 2 cents. Having a little proof or whatever for anybody out there who's just, I don't know, doing streaming, YouTube, whatever it may be. Do what you can.
I think
go ahead.
I think what you say is exactly right. Like, if we try to imagine that success is going to come magically outside of our own endeavors, then I think we're dreaming. If we think that that the only way that we're going to be successful is by getting a lucky break, then we're dreaming, because we can't control lucky breaks. But what we can control is we can control our own endeavors, right? That we can be systematic, we can be dependable, we can stream on when we say we're going to stream, we can constantly analyze how good was our show, where can we improve it, we can connect with our audience. You know, there are things that we can do to constantly improve ourselves. And if we do that, then perhaps more lucky breaks are going to come our way. But, you know, if we wait for external things to happen, then we might be waiting forever.
Yeah. Like the sort of, I can't think of the analogy, but there's something on Twitch. Maybe it'll come back to me. It's more of, it's a simple one. It's a simple one. This isn't really relevant to like probably like running a show like D&D, but just an example. There's like streamers out there will be like, oh, well, I'll be entertaining. I'll start talking in my chat when people actually show up, when the viewer actually joins on in. That's not how that works. You have to be already trying to be as entertaining as possible. You have to be talking, you have to be interacting, even if no one is there. So then it opens up to maybe someone who sees that in chat. They see, you know, the quality of the content that they're watching. Oh, it's a lot higher than usual. Okay, now I will start interacting with it. Whether that means, you know, they follow, whether that means they start chatting it up, whether later down the line, I don't know, they drop a sub, they actually support you guys financially. But the point is, focusing on yourself, focusing on enhancing your craft, and focusing on like the goals and factors that you can actually control. That I think that's the way to go when it comes to these sort of things. The eternal, the external, who knows? But yeah, so I didn't want to cut you off. You did say that there was another sort of victory after this sort of technical victory. There was more of an emotional victory, if you want to go tackle what that was all about.
So those technical things really, they really sap kind of energy, not knowing, okay, is it going to sound good? We knew that our cameras looked good, but, you know, I'm not a lighting guy, you know, so all those technical things were really important to establish. And now I'm feeling really confident with all the technical stuff. Then something happened just on the weekend, actually, which was just, we were reviewed in a online website.
I saw that.
And it was like, now what had happened is we'd reached out to people on Twitter. We'd reached out to people, not only content creators like you and creating these relationships with you, but we'd also reached out to people that do podcasting and reviews, and we reached out to them and said, hey, you know, we're a new show, we're still growing our audience, but you know, if you did ever want to review us, we'd really love that. And you know, we've got a little media kit with some photographs and write up of what we're doing. And on the weekend, someone put out an article, and it was, sorry, I feel embarrassed even saying this. It said it was, you know, best D&D shows that aren't Critical Role. And we're the last one on the list, but we were on the list.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it was like, what the heck? And that was incredibly exciting for us. So that was an external thing, but as you mentioned, it didn't come out complete, like we had no control over what they were going to write, and they wrote so kindly. I mean, they were so generous to us.
See if I can find that article.
You know, we had, but I guess it wasn't completely random, right? We hadn't made a connection with them. We did reach out to them, you know, but still, we had no idea what they were going to write, and that was a very recent victory that we were still fizzing about, to be honest.
Can't seem to find it, but it's out
It was,
there. It's out there.
Please do go read it. It's called the place is called Nerd Night News. Nerd Night News.
Nerd Night News. Yeah. But that is, oh my gosh, that's really, really cool though. Like, just,
it was amazing.
Because, like, did you know that you were already in the in that article, or was it just like complete surprise? Just like, oh, you're reading, timeline or whatever, and then it's like, wait, Dice Legenz, that's me. Did you already know?
Exactly. No, it was a real surprise, because we just said, we connected with them and said, if you did want to review us, well, being reviewed is very different than appearing in a list of shows. It's quite a different thing. A review is something that's on its own, right? That here's a show, here are its strengths, here are its weaknesses, blah, blah, blah. Here are a couple pictures. So we didn't know that they were writing the nature of the article at all. And when the first thing we found out is on Twitter, they did a post saying, we've just put out a new article, and they tagged all the different channels that they had mentioned in their article. So that's how we found out about it. And then of course we've spammed everyone in the world saying,
everybody look. That's great.
Look at me, Mom.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I do the same thing. I'd be bouncing around the wall and all that stuff. Like, hey, look, I did it. I can only imagine. I can only imagine like how good that must have felt. But that's great. And one thing that I always say is definitely, I know this isn't really like a stream for like a concentration tips and all that stuff, but I think it does have to fall in this sort of regard. One thing that I've definitely sort of harped on in a good way is document or write down, do whatever to be able to remember the victories. Like, whether, again, in this sort of case and scenario of like, hey, you're in an article. Hey, we were able to finally get all of our sort of technical stuff down pat. Whatever it may be, write down the victories, because when it comes to just, I don't know, concentration in general, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, especially in the streaming world. Oh, yeah. you have people where they'll be streaming to like 20 people, and then boom, I don't know, something crazy happens. They drop down to 5 viewers, whatever it may be. And it could be for a multitude of reasons. And that feels bad. That feels terrible. But remembering, like, being able to have something that you could sort of remember and think about, like, hey, it's gonna be okay. We were able to do this and this, and we're doing this sort of streaming thing to make more memories similar to these in the past, right? So having something to keep pushing you and keep on going, and then it's just really, really cool to be able to look back on, like, hey, I did this, right? I did this. It didn't seem like a lot of things or something too crazy before, but like, that was freaking awesome, man. Yeah, let's do it again. But let's do it better. Definitely important, in my opinion, when it comes to that kind of stuff, for sure.
Yeah, because it is a roller coaster, because, we have some weeks where we've felt, when we're doing the game, we're not looking at our phones, and so sometimes we've had a session which we thought, wow, that was just such a great session.
Yeah.
And then we look at the numbers and we think, what? How come we didn't get very many viewers? What? Did we do something wrong? What? And then other ones, it's like, wow, we got a big raid. And that's the other thing, is that none of us do this together, like we all support each other, things like raids and all that kind of stuff, Anyway, but just going back to your point, some weeks don't seem to go as well, and you don't necessarily have a reason why. Why did they suddenly drop down from, you're sitting on 30 and all of a sudden you're on 17? It's like, what? Why? And I guess it's best not to be worried about that and just focus on, what am I doing? I'm trying to make the best content for our audience possible. I'm here with these players. I'm focusing on that. Don't worry about the numbers. Maybe it's dinner time in some time zone and everyone's needed to go out, you know?
You never know. You never know. Like, I remember that's happened to me so many times. Even like when it was Soulbound or whatever, I'll get done with it. I'm like, dang, that was a freaking fantastic session. I loved it. Players loved it. It was great. It was super action packed. All of this sort of things. And you look back at the recaps, like, wait, what? We only had this many viewers? What are you talking about? Last week we had this XYZ amount. What happened? Am I doing something wrong? And then you start really getting into your head and all that sort of stuff. But nah, like literally block all that stuff out, have a great time, have fun, focus on what you're, really laser focus on what you're trying to strive for, and just focus on improving what you can. And then the results will eventually come in, because you can't really control external factors like we've mentioned before. It could have been like, oh, it's dinner time, or oh, I don't know, huge football game came on, everybody's watching that. Who knows? Whatever.
Exactly.
You can't control it, so don't try. Just focus on the things that you can control. That's good stuff.
For sure.
That's good stuff. So I actually have, I have two little questions. We're gonna speed through this one real quick. So Vahid, we've talked a lot about Dice Legenz. We talk about like how it's sort of humble beginnings, and then eventually getting to the middle, and then kind of bring it up to the current date. But now let's talk about the future, if you want. Obviously, if you want to keep things secret, we can obviously skip over this question. But if you, what type of goals, or what are your goals for Dice Legenz? So you said like kind of what you want to do when you started, but what do you have any like crazy plans for the future, or what you're working on?
Sure. Okay. So our plans are both in terms of the story, and then plans in terms of like the show and the stream and the company, so there's kind of these two things, and of course we know that they're intertwined. So in terms of story, our campaign, our season, I see going up to just before Christmas. Mm-hmm. And for it to be a 1-year campaign, and we are approaching the a first midway climactic moment. And so I'm in the next 2 to 3, maybe 4 episodes, we will be reaching this really exciting, pivotal climactic moment. Things are moving towards something. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I don't know what's going to happen around that. So there's the story there is this 1-year campaign with these characters. And then in terms of the broader channel and all that kind of stuff, I'm really, what we're really working on is, because it is, as I mentioned, we do have investors and we're approaching this from a business point of view, is what we're working towards is being able to have a financially successful company, Yeah. One that is able to pay not only all its expenses, but all its cast and all that. And then to ultimately, so that's what we're ultimately aiming for, is a really successful streaming channel that's able to create content for people all over the world, but also has enough financial success that we can afford to do it full time. That's what we're striving to do.
Heck yeah. Because I mean, let's think about it. Like, guys, who wouldn't want to be able to, say like, hey, I do D&D for a living. I get to roll dice with my friends and have a great time weekly, and I get paid to do it. I don't have to worry about anything else. It'd be fantastic. So that is awesome. Now, final question. I do want to say, I want to try to make this sort of a thing when it comes to the D&D Sensei Show, especially when we have guests on. So Vahid, you can take a little bit of time to think about it. I can go first if you really want me to, but if you had a sprinkle of wisdom or a tip or whatever that you either apply to all of your D&D games as a dungeon master, or heck, even life in general, or to Dice Legenz, the company, whatever it may be. If you had a sprinkle of wisdom or a tip, what would that thing be?
Sure.
Do you need time to think about it, or you want me to go first?
Why don't you go first, and I'll give some thought.
Gotcha. So I'd probably say when it comes to D&D, it's posted or pinned on my Twitter. I say this all the time. Max is probably swinging in the air every time I say it. Not because he doesn't like it, because he agrees, and I say it so much to the point where I annoy him with it, but it is this. When it comes to D&D, especially a couple newer players, they may ask, well, hey, Sensei, how do you win D&D? How do you win this game of Dungeons and Dragons? Well, I sit him down and I explain this to him. Well, to win D&D, it's really just a two-step process. Number one is make sure all your players, and yourself included, are having fun. That's it. You make sure everybody's having fun because you're playing a game well to have fun. If no one's having fun, or it's not going the opposite way, then what are you doing? So, number one, you gotta have fun with what you're doing and enjoy yourself to the fullest, and make sure everybody at the table is doing it. Not just Jim Bob the Paladin, not just Ronnie the Ranger, everybody, DM included. Number two, you do gotta make sure everyone at the table is comfortable to express themselves and just be at the game table in of itself. If you have people where they're maybe not necessarily comfortable of like expressing themselves or being who they want to be, either out of the game or in the game, well then hey, they're most likely not gonna even be able to accomplish rule number one, which is have fun.
Fun.
Number one, make sure you and everybody at the table is having fun, and number two, make sure everyone is comfortable at your game table. After that, hey, little Jimmy or newcomer to D&D, that's how you win D&D. That's how you do it. So that's sort of the words that I kind of, or a little phrase that I kind of live by or run all my D&D games by. That's my little sprinkle of wisdom from SenseiSuplex. Vahid, do you have an idea of like what would your little sprinkle of wisdom?
Yeah, great. I love that. That's really great. That's brilliant. And I guess just to riff off of that, I guess what I'd say is that a phrase that we use, which I think is really strongly connected with what you're saying, which is brilliant, is that this idea that we are stronger together. And that we all bring unique talents, capacities, things to things, but when we work together, we are stronger. And I think one of the things that's beautiful about a Dungeons and Dragons game is that it expresses this in a fictional world where all the characters, where their different skills and things, when they come together, they're stronger. One character by themselves isn't going to complete the quest. We're stronger together. And I think from a business point of view, the same approach is what drives us. So rather than this really tired capitalistic idea that we have to beat our competition, right?
Yeah.
That our competitor, that approach would mean that you and I are enemies because we are both creating the same kind of content. Mm-hmm. We are competitors, right?
Yeah.
I think that's rubbish. I think that's a bunch of trash. Actually, we are stronger together. And so just as in a D&D game, is our fellow streamers and within the community, the more that we support each other, your victory is my victory. My victory is your victory. And as we've already talked about, Critical Role's success has actually helped all of us. It's lifted all of us up. So anyway, just tagging on to what you'd said, which was great.
That is fantastic. A round of applause. I don't know what else to say to that one. That was freaking beautiful. Love that. And it's funny you mention it because that sort of philosophy, that is actually the basis of how Project Aurora, the whole thing that I do, that's how it was made. It was like, it's in the lore, it's in out of the game. Hey, one person, by themselves, they're maybe strong, they're okay, but together with dozens of people or however many, you can do some amazing things. I think that is a fantastic note to be able to wrap up on. Before we do so, I do want to thank you, Vahid, for being able to be onto this show and being able to, or share the likes of your story and Dice Legenz story. But before we do, before close out everything and then go into the next sort of stuff, Vahid, if you would go into your little outro, where can we find you on the social medias and all that stuff? And if you have any projects in the works, please, please, please shout them out. Tell everybody about it. Let's go. So where can we find you, Vahid?
Hey, thanks so much, Sensei. This opportunity to be with you has been really great. I always love chatting with you. It's really great. So you can find us, Dice Legenz, everywhere. We're the same thing everywhere. No spaces between them. Dice Legenz. And it's just with an NZ on the end. And so you go on Twitter, you go on Twitch, on Patreon, everywhere it's the same thing. YouTube is the same thing. We spoke to someone just a couple of days ago who said he went on YouTube, just started typing in dice, and we came up straight away after he typed in the word dice. So awesome. We really want to funnel people at this stage to our Twitch channel, because that's where our chatting and our community happens during the show. But if you want to catch up on episodes, please do go subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to hit those magical YouTube numbers of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 viewed hours, so that we can monetize our YouTube and be able to then have more chance of financial viability. So please do hit our Twitch, and Sensei's already mentioned that in the chat, that if you go to our thing, if you wanted to hit us with a follow, that would be really great. But if you're not following Sensei yet, you got to follow him on Twitch, and you got to follow him here and on Twitter and on YouTube, because you're putting a lot of YouTube content out at the moment, which is great to see.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And any other projects that you want to sort of shout out? If there are any, I think you kind of mentioned most of them on the show, but just want to make sure.
No, that's really it. Just funneling everyone into that Twitch and the YouTube. That's where we really want to see people. That's where we want to chat with you.
Awesome stuff. So, with that being said, that is where we're going to conclude at least the talk show portion of the D&D Sensei Show. However, everybody, that doesn't mean that this stream is ending. Oh no. We have lots of things, such as the Workout Warriors coming in just a bit, and we also have the Mithril Armory Dice giveaway with our good friends over there. So stay tuned. We're gonna be back in about 5-7 minutes, probably not even that. We're just gonna break a couple things down with Vahid. And yeah, we'll be right back. So again, make sure to go check out Dice Legenz channels on all the other social medias and more. Be sure to go check out all of my channels on the social medias and whatever. Drop a follow on here if you want. And yeah, we'll be right back, guys. So don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty. 1 second. We're gonna mute. And we're gonna go to the start soon screen. Bam. There we go. Production value. Boom. Alrighty, we are back. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the D&D Sensei Show. My name is SenseiSuplex, and today we already know. We already know what time it is. It's time for everyone to get as fit as their D&D characters because it is time for the workout warriors to assemble. Hello and welcome, everyone. I wasn't able to talk to everybody in chat, obviously, as we just got done hanging out with our good old friend Vahid from Dice Legenz and more. But today, oh wait, you can't hear my music. Boom, now you can. But today, it's time. It is time. Now, I want to catch up with you guys for just a quick little moment. Just a quick little moment. But I did want to go over a quick couple of announcements. So recently, Auroraverse, gather around the table and let me tell you all a fable. It wasn't really a fable because it actually happened. So recently, for whatever reason, I don't know why, I became a TikTok star. I don't know how, I don't know why, but here we are. Where basically, I uploaded a TikTok of the Workout Warriors. Now, if you don't know what the Workout Warriors is, well, one, what are you doing? And two, no, I'm kidding. Three, basically what happened is we've been embarking on the likes of this journey where we are trying to start a movement. We're trying to start a movement where we are getting everybody, all D&D players, all TTRPG players, video gamers, whatever, you name it, all in shape and as fit as our D&D or RPG characters. Now, a lot of the time, when we play these sort of games, we make a lot of these characters who are super strong, super fit, super charismatic, whatever it may be. And I think a lot of the time what that reason is that a portion of us at least wants to be kind of like those characters. We want to be, you know, in shape. We want to be strong. We want to be fast. We want to be charismatic or whatever. Now, when it comes to the sort of fitness side of things, I have one question to that. Why can't we? Why can't we strive to be stronger? Why can't we strive to be in shape? You know? Why can't we at least try to get as fit as our D&D characters? And that's what we are going to be doing today. So I uploaded a video recently showing off one of the workouts that we have. I'll see if I can actually show you guys it in just 1 second. Let me see. Production value. Hiya! Did it work? It did work. Hiya! So if you guys don't know, I'm on TikTok or whatever. SenseiSuplex, TikTok sensation. Oh God. Oh God. Next comment. So yeah, we uploaded a video and it was a couple of days ago. It got 68,000 views on TikTok. We actually just uploaded another one, being 14,000, nearly 15,000 videos. And that said, the reason why I mentioned this is because we're starting this new series to, oh wait, you can't see my face. All right. We're starting this new series so we can actually, you know, make it a sort of thing, make it a sort of, I don't know, make it, or really commit to the idea of getting as fit as our D&D characters. And this is a good way for me to be able to, you know, help you guys out with that. As we're making these D&D themed workouts, we started off with the Barbarian, and we also started off, or we just recently uploaded the Cleric. We got the Rogue and, the Paladin coming up next, and I believe the Fighter is in the works. Yeah, we got the Fighter in the works. So, hey, if you guys haven't seen it, make sure to go check out the TikTok, go follow it. We're actually really close to hitting 6,000 followers right now. We're at 5,996. I don't know how many people are in the chat, but hey, just go follow me on the socials. Links right there. You guys can meet or be able to help be that 6,000th person. And today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be continuing that sort of journey on live with you guys. But, however, we're going to do a little bit of a spin or twist on it. Now, you see, as I'm getting used to the likes of this restreaming thing, we did cancel our affiliate contract, so we don't necessarily have channel points anymore. However, D&D community, what do we have to generate hope? To generate dread, to generate disappointment and immeasurable triumphant success. I'm talking about our favorite 20-sided die in a D20. That's how we're going to be doing it. we're going to be playing a little bit of roulette with our sanity and our well-being. As, get this, we have dice. We're going to be using a little bit of dice, and we're going to be rolling for the likes of our workouts today. Thank you, Dice Legenz, for the follow on TikTok. So what we're going to do, we're going to roll this little math rock here a certain amount of times. I haven't decided exactly how many times we're going to roll it, but that will determine how much of each exercise we're going to be doing. So I got an idea. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab a D4. We're going to grab this D20, and I'm going to roll a D20, and we'll make sure, we'll say this is like push-ups, for example. I'll roll it. Let's say I get a 10. Afterwards, I'll roll a D4. Let's say I get a 3. 10 times 3 is 30, so that means we're going to have to do 30 push-ups on stream with everyone. And if you guys want to join in on the fun, then you by all means go for it. If you want to roll your own dice at home, by all means do it. Let's get as fit as our D&D characters. And we're going to do this for push-ups, squats, and crunches. And I worked out all of them today at the gym earlier, so this is going to be painful. Now, this means if I roll a 20 and I also roll a 4, there is a chance that I have to do 80 push-ups on stream. We'll see if that is going to be a reality, but who knows? Who knows? All right, everybody, let's get started with this. No more channel points. I had so many to give away inspiration with. Don't worry, May. We actually have the likes of loyalty points coming in on the likes of, I believe, the Twitch side of things. So you guys will have the same thing with inspiration points. It's just the economy is in shambles. The economy has been reset. Don't worry though, it's coming back. It's coming back and better than ever. Or better than ever, as we actually have mini games when it comes to loyalty points. So it's gonna be channel points 2.0. Trust me, it's gonna be fantastic. You ever played roulette or bingo with your channel points? I think not, but you will be able to in time. So real quick, I'm going to roll these on stream. I don't wanna mess with the camera too much, so I'm not gonna show it, but you're gonna have to just trust me. You're gonna have to just trust me. And I wanna roll actual dice, so we'll see. All right, so we're rolling a D20. This is gonna be for push-ups, y'all. Push-ups. Hey-ya. I hate my life. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is a, no, you can't see it, but that is a 19. I rolled a fucking 19 out of 20. We're off to a fantastic start, y'all. All right, I'm gonna roll a D4. Let's see what this is. Oh shit, it fell. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. It fell on the ground. It has to be on the table. Has to be on the table. Okay, that's 2. That's not bad. That's not bad. That is what, 38 push-ups? Yeah, 38 push-ups. That is, Jesus Christ. That could have been a lot worse. So, we'll take it. We'll take it. All right. Now, we got squats. Let's see what we got for our legs today. A 7. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, we're going to roll a D4. Let's see. Let's see. Hopefully it's not too terrible. And it's a 4. God damn it. All right. 28 squats. Fuck me, I guess. I don't know what to say. All right. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. Thank you, Sammy, for being able to count for our small brain. Okay, so this is going to be for crunches. It's going to be for crunches. All right. Big salvia. That's another 7. It's not bad. That's actually pretty good. Pretty good. And D4. Fuck. It's another 4. Why does this game hate me? Who came up with this dumbass idea? Oh, wait. Shit. Anyways. All right, let's see. Now, oh, we should probably change the YouTube title. Let me change YouTube real quick. We got 28 crunches, and I don't think there's any other exercise. I don't want this to be like a huge sort of thing. We just want this to be a really, really quick sort of one-off. Here, let me change the title over on YouTube. And also, real quick, if you guys haven't, go check over, do exclamation point YouTube to find our channel. Go over there, real quick. Drop a like on that video. The reason why is because it helps us out in the algorithm for other people to be able to find the likes of this life-changing challenge, and also to be able to find the likes of or working with Vahid with Dice Legenz for that interview and more. So go over while we're getting everything set up, hop on in here, drop a like onto it, and then you can come back to Twitch, or you can stay on YouTube, or whatever you wish, but just go do that for me real quick. We got 5 likes, but I think we got 19 of you. I think we can get this video up to at least 7 to 10 likes. Come on now. Come on now. Exclamation point YouTube to get on over into here. YouTube. Bam. All right, let me go edit this real quick. All right. Getting as fits as our D&D characters. This is gonna be an interesting sort of thing. Oh, I guess I should probably just, you know, update the title as over here. That would probably be the smarter thing. Get as fit as our D&D characters. Yeah, that'd probably be smart. Okay, there we go. All right, enough stalling. Let's set up the camera and more, and set up our pain train. Okay, I don't know how we're gonna do this. This is the first time I've ever had to use this camera for this sort of thing, so I'm gonna be live editing here. Hope you guys are ready. Hopefully I don't break anything. Okay, that's all I needed to do. Okay, cool. We're gonna move this. Hello, Twitch chat. It is I, SenseiSuplex. We're going to get our push-ups and stuff set up first. And let me go get you guys a bit of music so you guys can pump some iron and get Swole Patrol out here. All right, let's go find some My Hero music as per usual. Actually, should we? Maybe we don't use My Hero. What music can we use that's like probably DMCA free? I don't know if My Hero is DMCA free, so that's the thing I'm worried about. Oh, I got an idea. Here's what we'll do. My Hero, you say run epic version. That will be good. Not that one, not that one, not that one. This one, there we go. Okay, everybody. With that, I need each and every single one of you to get down onto the ground. It is time to get swole and get as fit as to get as fit as Navro, to get as fit as Amos, all you swole individuals. I don't know why I included Navro in that sort of one, but here we are. All right, I'm gonna shut down this music. Let's do this. 38 push-ups, 28 squats, 28 crunches. Let's do this. Okay. Oh, hold on. Music decided to crap itself. 144. Try that. Alright, that should fix itself. Okay. Everybody, get down on the ground. Let's do this. 28 push-ups. Oh, wait, here, I'm gonna squeeze on over to here instead. And I think you guys should be able to hear me from now. Alright. This is gonna be painful, but we gotta push through the pain. Everybody, let's go, let's go, let's go. 38. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're 1/4 of the way there. We're 1/4 of the way there. Hey, you ain't gotta do all 38 push-ups. You ain't even gotta do 10. You just gotta do one more than you did yesterday. And if you didn't do one yesterday, well, let's get 1 or 2 in today. All right, let's go, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, halfway there, halfway there. We got 18 more. 18 more. It's gonna start hurting, but you gotta feel the pain to get the gains. Let's go, let's go. 18 more push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Big 8, big 8. Screw it, you know what, we're gonna do 10 more. 10 final push-ups to become big mans like Zug. All right, all you barbarians, all you paladins, all you fighters, it's time to get the swole arms that you all deserve. Let's go, let's go, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and big 10. That's what we like to see. All right, everybody. Now that we got the push-ups done, it's time to get the crunches down pat, and let's get them over with. All right, we got a total of 28 crunches. Let's get this done. I guess I'll be right here. I don't know if you guys can see me, but hopefully you can. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. We got 20 more. 20 more. Who said? Or wait, hold on. 18 more. 18 more. Who said our holy boys and clerics can't be as swole? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. There we go. Oh, I just knocked my water bottle over. That would not be good. Alrighty. And now we gotta finish up with squats. We gotta train the core. Or not train the core. We gotta train our legs to support our people on the battlefield. Paladins rise up. It's time for leg day. Alright, let me move this over. I think that's roughly good enough. Yeah, you guys can see me. Okay, cool. Alright, let's do this. We got a total of 28 squats. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Let me get the music started back up for you guys. We're halfway there, halfway there. You might be hurting, you might be in pain, but hey, you're all making a journey. You're all making the journey to get strong and get fit. Let's do it. Let's finish strong. All right. 15 more, 15 more. Oh, hold on, make sure I got that right. Yeah, about 15 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We got it. Oh my gosh. And with that, we have started the journey to get as fit as our D&D characters. All right, everybody, real quick, I'm gonna fix my camera in just a moment. But hey, as tradition, workout warriors, Auroraverse warriors, Mogus warriors, whatever the heck you are, if you did one single push-up, one single crunch, one single squat, one of any of the workouts, if you did a jog, you did a couple jumping jacks, say it loud, say it proud, and say it in the chats on either YouTube and Twitter, TikTok, whatever it may be, whichever platform, Twitch. Say it, we'll clap it up for you guys, because you guys are fantastic individuals on the on the journey to get back in shape. There we go, there we go. Let me set up the camera while I'm doing that real quick. All right, I think that should be set up. I lifted this sweet bun to my mouth a couple of times. Wait, pause. Oh man, goodness gracious. Come on, Matt, come on, come on. Do one single push-up. One push-up. You can't do one push-up and then just, what do you call it? And then eat. What are you doing? What are you doing? One little adjustment there. And we're good. We are back. Alrighty, everybody. Alrighty. Well, that being said, congratulations to all the people who were able to do the workouts and the likes of chat and more. We're going to go directly into our giveaway for Mithril Armory and more, as it's going to be a fantastic time. We're going to be doing the likes of a giveaway. Shane, I did one push-up, granted it's because I fell over, but still one was done. Hey man, one is all you need. Now next day, tomorrow, let's try to go for 2. Maybe it's in a couple hours, maybe it's in 24 hours, whatever it may be. Let's try to go for 2 next time. Let's try to go for 2. Good stuff, good stuff. Captain Writer, there, I did 5. Heck yeah, that's what we're talking about. Now you can go eat. Now you can go eat. Congratulations for doing 5 push-ups and more. Madraw, Matt, you should challenge yourself to get as fit as your logo art. True, true. You can't use your logo art until you are as fit to use it and wield it. Intense it is, intense it is. Shane says, fall twice I shall. That's what we like to hear, question mark? All right, real quick, here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to swing on over. Hold on. We're gonna swing on over with the music, but we're also going to enable this giveaway so then I can show you a quick little word from our sponsor. But first, let me get the actual giveaway working, and I gotcha. Okay, so for everybody who wants to participate in this giveaway, I need all of you to go over to Twitch right now. Only people on Twitch have access to this giveaway. The reason why is because loyalty points, for whatever reason, they only work over on twitch.tv. So go search it up, or you can go to my bio, whether you're on Twitter or YouTube, or the description, whatever it may be. Just go to twitch.tv /sensei_suplex. You'll find me there. We're doing the giveaway right now, and you only have a couple minutes to jump on in. All right. Afterwards, if you do win said giveaway, then what you will need to do afterwards is you will need to direct message me either on Discord or either on Twitch, and I will ask you for the information necessary to get that mailed out to you. Now, I believe this is going to be a 10/20 giveaway, so we're going to be giving out some dice from our good friends at Mithril Armory, and then I believe, or actually, I don't know if I get to choose. I will let you know. I'll let you know whether this is going to be the we'll probably, just for simplicity's sake, we'll do this as the 10/20 giveaway, and then maybe for the raid boss we'll do the shirt and merch giveaway for that one, because that's the big stream. Okay, so everybody in chat, if you want to join into the giveaway, all you have to do is type in !ticket to join on in. So what do we go on? You go on twitch.tv. So Gamer Gal, you are perfectly fine where you are. Just type in !ticket like I'm doing right now, and you will see as it will add you, or I will be able to notice that it's adding this individual to the thing. Right now we only got myself, SenseiSuplex, but once more people start typing !ticket, then they will join on in. See, Gamer Gal, I see you over on my end. Xander, I see you. Shane, I see you. Beards and Battle Axes, I gotcha. May, there you go. And more and more and more. So !ticket. And I think you can buy more tickets if you have more loyalty points. So hey, go for it, go crazy, spam it as many times as you want to see if you can get more, or to use as many as you got. And yeah. Alrighty. Let's see. While we're doing that, while we're waiting for everybody to type an !ticket for the giveaway. Hold on. Nice giveaway. !ticket. We're gonna update this over on Twitch's end. We're gonna go play a quick little video from our sponsor of this evening, Mithril Armory. They have been a fantastic friend of ours who has been able to support the likes of this channel, support our journey and more. And they are actually giving back by allowing us to do this sort of giveaway for you guys to get your hands on some awesome D&D merch. They actually just recently started a Kickstarter that was immediately funded within just hours, because their product, their stuff that they give out is that great. So I'm gonna link their stuff in the likes of the chat down below. Go check it out, go check it out, go check it out. We're also gonna link it in the YouTube description after the video is done and ended. And yeah, all right, let's go play their little Kickstarter video for just one moment. All right, I think I gotta take it over to the player podcast overlay. So, oh wait, hold on, whoa there. Stop that. All right. Oh hey, it's me. All right, there we go. All right, be right back, guys. Let me mute this and let me turn this on. I think this is right. Yeah.
We're so excited to bring you our second HoloDice Kickstarter and our 9th Kickstarter overall. Introducing Dragonheart. We worked with some incredible 3D modelers to come up with these beautiful dice that feature a dragon's head on every face. To start, we're offering your choice of gold, silver, or copper finishes, and they'll be shipped in a fabric Mithril Armory dice bag. We're looking to raise $6,300 Canadian, which is about $5,000 US, to place our initial order of dice and bags. Each set will be available for $45 for your first set, with an increasing discount for every additional set you back. When we hit our first stretch goal of $10,000, each backer will receive a free upgraded faux leather dice bag. We'll also unlock the polished silver and obsidian finishes. At $15,000, we'll include a downloadable encounter that's scalable for your party's needs. We'll also include a custom-made map for that encounter. At $20,000, we'll be able to create our custom wooden dice cases. They need to be oversized because these dice are bigger than most dice you get out there. We'll also upgrade that map and encounter to a printed physical map and printed encounter booklet, and every backer will receive that for free as well. After that, we have all sorts of things planned, but let's see where we get. Thanks for watching, and thank you for backing and helping this new set of dice come to life.
Alrighty, and with that, thank you again, Mithril Armory, for sponsoring the likes of this giveaway. You guys can check out all their sort of fantastic dice and D&D merch and more. Link is down, posted in the Twitch chat. Thank you guys again so much, but now we must choose who will be the winner of them all. Who will be able to get some fantastic dice from Mithril Armory? Let's find out right now. We're going to switch on over to the scene right here, and we are going to pull it live. So we're going to close. Well, here, I'll give you guys until 6 minutes. 6 minutes, and after that, it is closed. So jump on in here. In order to jump on in, you do exclamation point ticket. Exclamation point ticket to join the giveaway. You have a total of 40 seconds to do so. 40 seconds, 40 seconds. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. In the meantime, while that's sort of going on, I do want to say a couple things real quick. So, we're going to be picking back up with the likes of the D&D streams very, very soon, as on Friday, we're going to be beginning not raid boss week, but boss fight week for Soulbound, as every single campaign is going to be a boss fight in their session. On Friday, we're going to have the introduction to the 9 to 12 person raid boss between the likes of the players and the Stormbird itself. On Saturday, we're going to have the actual fight. On Sunday, we're going to have the likes of the hag fight between Secrets in the Sands and Grim Alice, the Desert Hag, or excuse me, the Night Hag. Gonna be a super, super awesome battle there. And then we're going to end the likes of the weeks over on Valley of Dreams at Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, where the Vodan Knights are going to be duking it out with the Iron Hydra itself. So that's gonna be a super, super fun one. Super, super fun. All right, everybody. Let's do this. We're going to draw a winner. Who is it going to be? Who is it going to be? Best of luck to you all. And if you do not win, make sure to spam GG's in the chat to be a good sport. That is going to be Madraw 6. Madraw would have won. Madraw would have won. Unlucky. Well, Madraw did say that he was going to have to jump out. So we're going to re-roll it again. Who is it going to be? We're going to draw another winner. That is Beards and Battle Axes. Congratulations, my friend, for winning the likes of this giveaway with a 22.22% chance to win. Congratulations, congratulations, Beards and Battle Axes. If you can, please say something in chat. Hey, oh wow, thank you so much. Awesome, awesome, good stuff. Everybody, real quick, spam GG's in chat. GG's in chat all around, because we got to be good sports. We got to support all of our fellow individuals on the D&D sphere. Now, just because you necessarily didn't win this giveaway, we're going to be doing 2 more giveaways this week. And on top of that, we're going to do more giveaways next week and the week after and the week after. This is going to be a 4-week extravaganza. So don't be afraid. Don't be sad. Don't be mad. Don't be upset if you didn't win now. Because our good old friends at Mithril Armory, they got you covered. They got you covered. So here's what I'm going to need from you. Beards and Battle Axes, if you actually can you direct message me either on Discord preferably, and if you're not in the Discord, then just go jump on in and to the Twitch and direct message me there. For those of you guys who aren't in the Discord for whatever reason, here's where we are. I'm in there 24/7 as we run the giant living persistent universe, the MMORPG known as Project Aurora. I had to burp there. Sorry about that. So jump on in, have some fun. We got an awesome community where we talk about D&D, nerds, or nerd culture, anime, all that good stuff. We'd love to have you. All right, fantastic stream, y'all. You guys were great. You guys were fantastic. But all things good must come to an end. I will see you guys on Friday at 2 p.m. East, or excuse me, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the likes of this raid boss. Let's wish our fellow players luck and hope the dice are in their favor. Bye, everybody. Have a good one. Have a great rest of your evening. I will see you guys all later. Bye-bye.